Most people don't think about it because society conditions them to be stuck in. And I should have been talking about this from the get go. Honestly, should have been instead of playing fucking games with a fucking persona because I was too scared to fucking be a human being. But anyway, we are born here on this. People are conditioned the moment they are born into this world to forget the things of their soul, the things of their DNA, the things of their genetics, the things of their spirit. The knowledge and wisdom which is contained in such things. The wisdom which goes back to ancient times, far beyond the stretches of the human history which is documented. Most people don't fucking think. It never occurs to people. Does it ever occur to you? What am I doing here? What's the point of all of this? This thing called society. What's the point? What's the meaning to all of it? Is there a meaning to all of it? What's this show really all about? What's the whole point to all of this? People don't ask themselves these questions because they're stuck in a rat race mentality. They always have to get somewhere. Time's running out. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. You have to get over here. You have to get over there. You have to get fucking nowhere at the end of the day. You think you have to do a whole bunch of bullshit, which you really don't have to do. You don't have to do fucking jack shit if you don't want to do anything. That's the whole fucking point. Emily, you need to tune into your intuition. You need to learn true courage. True courage. Face your fears. Go towards the things that frighten you and overcome those things. Be vulnerable. Do it so that it will set you free. Because let me tell you something. The only thing that truly matters, what do you think we are born here for? If you are extremely aware and intuitive, you know that we are born here because the soul carries this negative karmic energy. And yes, there is a soul, and we're born here so that we can. It's like the ancient Egyptians said, they would have to weigh the heart, they would have to weigh it. And if it weighed too much, then the soul would have to go into the underworld. But if it was lighter than a feather, then it could ascend. The whole point is to get rid of the things in which keep us stuck and enslaved. This is a prison. This earth is a prison. And I came from a jail, but it's a fucking jail inside of a jail inside of a jail. Like a Russian fucking doll or something. The point is to free yourself. That is why you're here. Three-dimensional reality is only one part of reality. It's a very minuscule spectrum of reality. You free yourself by allowing your soul to be free of all the karmic debt and all of the negative things which bind you here. All of the compulsive bad behaviors, addictions, evil behavior, vices, and such. And when you know you have met your soul counterparts, you were not supposed to run away from it. You were supposed to embrace it totally. Because, Emily, you will be born, otherwise you would be born again eons. When you die, if you do not do what you were supposed to do, you basically keep reincarnating in this plane of existence until you have set yourself free. And you only set yourself free when you have learned the lessons you were supposed to learn. Because this is just a prison. It's a prison. Everything here on Earth, in this three-dimensional reality, exists on a certain dimension, a certain frequency. And the frequency isn't a high vibration. It's a lower vibration. It's a vibration where evil can exist. You're born into this world with this knowledge, but the moment you're born in here to this world, you experience suffering, and you come crying out of the womb. And when that happens, you forget. And society conditions you with more trauma, more pain, more misery, so that you forget who the fuck you truly are, what the fuck the point of all of this is. Society makes you forget the wisdom of the hearts, the wisdom of the spirits, the wisdom of the soul. So, Emily, I'm telling you, this is my last incarnation on earth. I've been born on this earth for eons. And that's why I'm a very wise soul. That's why I'm wise beyond my years, because I've learned from past incarnations everything else I needed to learn. But the one thing I didn't master clearly was the gifts of what is good and pure. I could master courage. I could master all of those things with no problem. But allowing myself to truly feel and allowing myself to be worthy of the greatest love was something that took me this incarnation to learn. It's the very last thing I have to learn so that I can ascend. And Emily, you're a younger soul, but you're still wise. And I'm telling you, I'm giving you the needed answer so that you can free yourself, so that you can ascend. And this ain't a fucking joke. This ain't a joke. I mean, you think if people think it's a joke, they can think it's a joke, and that's because they're ignorant and they're gonna have to incarnate here on many lifetimes if they don't learn the lessons. Those who are wise will have open eyes. Like the Sumerians were ancient, they were portrayed with wide open eyes like this, because they can see. They can see. And if you could see, you could become a high priest. If you could see. I can see. I can even see in the dark. I can even see in the dark. A big point of existence was this incarnation for me. I had to get rid of I had to experience human suffering. I had to come into this world and experience human suffering, experience pain and misery. Really understand it. That's why I made the choices I made, because on a soul level I understood all of this. Even though intellectually and consciously I had no idea what I was doing, I was being directed by my soul, because on a soul level, I knew one day I would snap out of that stupor. I didn't know how, but I knew one day I would snap out of it after I learned the lessons that I needed to learn, because I needed to study human nature and human suffering. What causes people to suffer? To understand that is to understand suffering itself. When you understand suffering itself, you understand how to turn suffering into joy, how to get rid of suffering, how to get rid of negativity. That's basically why I was born here. But at certain points I thought my point of existence was to be negative, which it was never. But that's what happens when you put yourself into a negative psychosis. You forget. You forget because you tune yourself into that frequency, which is terrifying and scary. And most people get stuck in a state of psychosis their entire lives. It's extremely rare for someone to snap out of psychosis, because they have to retrace their steps in what brought them there in the first place. They have to fundamentally ask themselves a series of questions. So Emily, this bond is not something you can just run away from. I'm telling you that on a soul level. You can't just run away from this bond. This bond is the point of why we're here. It's what we're supposed to do. There's no other point to this existence that we live, this three-dimensional reality. There's no other point. I'm supposed to tell you this so that you know it. And I'm going to say it on the internet where everyone can hear it. And I don't care how I come across. That's another point. You should be free from people's scorn and gossip and judgment. Who cares? Why should my soul be lowered by being worried by people's perceptions of my thoughts? When they have goofier thoughts to themselves, they just keep it quiet. Because if you knew what they were thinking, then you'd be like, that's a fucking weirdo. The only difference is I've accepted myself totally, as much as I possibly can, so that I don't give a fuck if people accept me or not, because that's not why I was born here. I wasn't born here to be accepted. I was born to help them, whether they want the help or not. I was born to help them. I was born to set as many people free as possible. so that they could ascend to the higher planes and experience the greater joys of life.